Alright, so I have the DLC now for this game. So we're gonna start back at the very beginning. Might as well just reread everything in. No. We don't need that much reading explained. I still like the name Nathaniel.
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel. We go by he. Let's go with green eyes. I like that. Nathaniel with white hair. Still freckle baby. I like freckles. I don't know why. I like them on cheeks. I've definitely always been a person that likes freckles. And its summer was a special year. You're sleepy. You use the Sept in town beginning to Barcelona. It was a popular tour attraction, with people coming from all over to enjoy the beach and relax that come with both. No. Small ocean trips and salts hangs in the air. Bringing 3 whole months of school last vacation with it. During the summer, your moms didn't like going too far outside your neighborhood, so you knew the area pretty well. It includes the people. Families came and went to Sunburn, but most stayed and did your mom called put down roots. They built business that got them to know each other and definitely said hello to the nice kids who waved past their doors. Going for a walk around town, mostly mouthing the friendly resident waves, asking how your family was. Most of them just said hello. Oh, let's be too society to say hello. They smile at you always, and you made you feel a little more comfortable. But today, there was a man sitting on the curb outside your house. He was sitting with his head in his hands and his whole body slumped over, and you wonder if he was a real person or a statue just had magically flared up from ground overnight. Whatever or whatever he was, you'd never seen him before. The thing about knowing everyone in Sunburn was the people who didn't recognize really stood out. It was rare for tourists to venture out to the resident district, as your mom called it, So for you not knowing for sure, it felt awful. Red flags. Your mom had talked to you about, you and your big sister Lizzie about this kind of situation before. Remember, it's okay to run. You're not sure about this man yet. Or he's not your snot, you don't want to be a Potter. Slow down as you thought how you could get around this. There was a split second where your eyes met. This wasn't good. He's probably going to say something now, since he sees you standing around here. Hey, you were right. Steve's voice called at you. Didn't say anything. Unfortunately, the man stood up and made his way towards you. Your body froze as he appeared. Deliver out here? What's your name? Look up and down the man talking in tan skin and realized his appearance. At least his clothes were relaxed. He was acting that way he was acting, wasn't he? He had his sharp shorts on his strange tattoo. I wonder if it was sense of emotion or something. While you made your assessment, he looked aside, waiting for you to his question. Just nod. If you do, he rubs back his neck, uncomfortable, giving you a small smile. He reached out into his pocket and pulled out a $20 bill. He clicked it and handed it up to you. Even more confused than before, you looked up him.
Well...
No, I cannot do you a favor. Nothing bad. Sorry, I should have let me through. Kids. Ready. Claire's son stood up straight. For where you're staying, it's just made him look creepier. Have son. His name's Cody. He was about your age. I still think Kobe's a pretty cool name. You've never met anyone with that name. We just moved across the street, you see. Glanced towards the house, and that had been empty for a year, which his watch changed its flare afternoon sunlight as he reflects off the walls. The gun for sale sign was finally gone. You must be Nathaniel Hart, right? I met your mom's daughter. They told me you were 8. Just like him, so he looked at the moon and bring it back to your attention. The hopeful smile at his lips corner. Try to be friends with my boy? Just give it a chance and keep this. He's a good kid. You like him.
Do you mind?
But you gotta keep it a secret too, okay? I don't want him to be friends to say his dad sent you. You could see what could be so bad about this Kobe kid that his dad would need to bribe strangers friends with him. What do you say? Wanna make a deal? Don't want the money. Took a step back, clearly refusing to accept his offer. Doesn't notice, but he's not complaining.
Are you sure?
Won't be bad, even if it's just for some, that'd be enough. It's only made some more strange. Why does it last for the summer matter? To clear his end, stranger wasn't gonna fly. He checked the bill in his pocket and changed the request. Okay, you don't have to. Would you be comfortable if I came back 550, no money falls? Okay, you can do that. He smiled bigger and he shrugged at his size. I I'll bring him by tomorrow. I want him to meet and greet the neighbors today, but I don't know where he went off to. He laughed as he said that, but his face looked like thought he was to cry. If you see him, can you tell him to come on home? He's got a pink cast and glasses. You can't miss it. I can try. No, not totally certain that you can find Chloe, but willing to look. The man smiled and reached out to pat your head, pausing before doing so, and then putting his hand away instead. Moms are always checked around for me. Sure a thoughtful group you are. Now I better get going. I can't put everyone else to work while I sit here alone. I thought he'd come back, and that's not important. I have to go. Thanks for getting that, Daniel. So much. He jogs off the street without another word. You check behind the hills of your house. The chirps of crickets in the tall grass greet you quite unfamiliarly. From the top of the hill you can see the ocean. As you walk, you listen to the crashing waves on the shores and the seagulls squeal as they settle down for the night. I enjoyed hearing about the merfolks and imagine living as far and breathing the waves. Sometimes you could turn yourself. You have seen a flash of a shiny mermaid tail in the distance. Took a brief breath, wanted to try to relax and couldn't. You weren't sure what, but something told you you were alone, so you glanced around, and there was a boy sitting on top of the hill. He almost completely hidden, and with the long grass, white flowers would surround him. He was barely on his knees, staring ahead by himself. For whatever reason, he probably just wasn't paying attention, didn't notice you. You watched him many longer, feeling a little bit like you found a deer in the wild. The deer has green hair, but this new boy did. There's a flame struck around his face in the breeze. After a few more moments, you took a step forward, then another. And then he glanced your way. Then reflects the light of the moon. You stopped, raising a hand and acknowledged him, to show him you weren't scary. Are you lost? With a start, he jumped to his feet, and his hands bellowed in his face as he sighed. Didn't say anything, just stared at you in a strange way. He's been crying. There was trace of tears on his cheeks, and his knees soaked the hem of his shorts, and his eyes were still shining with a few more. You obviously caught him off guard. His big eyes seemed to glow in the twilight, though he caught you staring at his arm. He hid his arm back behind his back. Something the man said earlier stuck out to you. Kobe? Oh. His eyes wide as he studied you. How did you know that? I know, Nellie. That's a lie. Tell the truth. Okay, your dad told me who you were. Oh. So is this your hill? Well, he guesses with his injured arm and casts off the glasses surrounding you. His face falls at the portion. I can leave if it is. I can't own a hill. Why not? How could you? You just do. I have a hill back home. Well, this still isn't mine. Oh. Sat back down with a thump, resting his chin on his knees again. Curious about the strange new boy with his old dad, you sat past your grass next to him. The poor white flowers then covered his hill, rocking back and forth at the stars twinkling above, and the way the dark sky made them seem like little flowers too. The night wind was cool as it traveled over the ocean up to the hill, chased away heat from the afternoon sun. Why are you here? It had escaped Kobe as soon as you asked the question, almost like they never stopped. His tears started up with a prayer. My parents, they don't want to live together with me anymore. The tears fall over and his cheeks flush, touching his dark lashes. My mom made my dad leave and he took with me. And now we have a house and here I want to go home. The outburst took you off guard. By the time he was done willing, all his chest was heavy with exhaustion. He sniffed and removed his glasses, wiped it at his eyes with the back of his hands before putting them back on again. I hate this place. I want my real life back. I want my mom. I'm sorry. He slipped his hands under his glasses and pressed the fingers against his eyelids, covering wound himself up against for another long cry fit. He felt bad for him, being forced to come here with no choice. You couldn't imagine what it felt like with the only one of your moms, but it must have been very hard. From the way in distance, you heard your parents. Nathaniel! Kids, where did you go? Cody looked at you, tears filling his cheek. I'll tell them we're here.
I want to go home.
I don't want to go back to that house. I want to go home. Don't worry so much. Sure. Maybe it's weird, and you're not going to like it. But your dad's here too, right? Yeah. So you're not really all by yourself. Even if it feels like that, you just have to tell him how you feel. You give him a great shove, push yourself to your feet. Hey, can't do anything if you don't make him hear you, right? Chloe stood up, looking at her little relief. Staggering out again. Chloe, can you hear me? He looked towards the sound of his dad inside and turned away, rubbing his non-bandaged arm. Sorry, I still don't want to go. Are you sure? You have to stay outside the whole night and sleep on the wet grass. Before he said anything else, you heard his dad's voice again, even closer than before. There you are, bud. The children of your parents appeared over the curtain of hill, and suddenly all their eyes lay on you and rushed over. Both your moms at your sides, specs on faces filled with worry. I'm telling you, you were here after all. We had dinner at the park checking for Kobe, and then we heard what happened earlier when you met your new neighbor. I thought you might have gone off farther away. Kobe doesn't want to go home yet. I'll give you Kobe a small smile, and then she turned back to you. God, you're both fine. Are you two having fun out here? You look at Kobe, who wiggled his arms against the tight hug and pushed his arms away. He's good. I think I'm gonna marry him. Not a smile. Oh, that's wonderful. Finally letting go of his grown son, Kobe's dad turned to the three of you.
That's a relief.
Thanks very much for finding him. I really don't know what this neighborhood. Good thing Nathaniel knows the whole area so well. Actually, we should be going home now. It's been a long day for us. Say goodbye, Kobe.
Bye.
Bye, Kobe. The two of them walked off into the darkness, heading towards the neighborhood, and you watched Kobe's bright catch until it disappeared. Tell you what, the pros they play date tomorrow, okay? Your new friend's dad wants to bring him by to see you and Liz. How does that sound? Sure. Can I show you my stuff?
Of course.
Then okay. Both your moms laughed in the sound of overlapping into one for no chores. Mom put her arm around your shirt and leads you towards the path. Satisfied and more, a little ready to go to bed after a long sunny day, follow them home. I'm gonna be. Yes. Next morning you finish breakfast so fast that you nearly poked it up again. Your sister Lizzie had to ran out early to play, but you stayed put. Today, just like your moms had promised, Kobe was coming over to hang out. Excited to see your new friend again, Nathaniel? I can't wait to see him. If you're going to get married, it makes sense to be around each other.
How sweet.
Isn't that just the sweetest thing? I bet the two of them are going to be great playmates.
Okay.
With that said, are you done with your breakfast? Yeah. With all the saying of an 8-year-old can muster, you looked up at your auntie, then imagined.
Okay.
Yeah, kids, we'll see. Good job. Should be here soon. Clean up again, and then on cue, there was a knock. It wasn't hesitant, like the parents wasn't sure they were in the right place. Still loud, though. You need to get more office doorbell. I know. Sam, could you get it? Okay. Breakfast led out of your chair on the way to the door. Hey, Hurt family. Thanks for having us. Mr. Hutton and your mom's called him as soon as your son were here. It looked different in the bright lighting of your living room, and when he wasn't crying. With that, his dad stood in front of him, and mommy behind you. You and Kobe looked at each other. Pleasure to see interest in your boy, and you smiled at Kobe. Kobe returned and smiled. Mom, we're going to play in my room. Your guest blinked, but didn't protest.
Okay. Take care.
Let us know if you need anything, you two. Have fun, kids.
See you.
See you later, son. Play nice. You lead him to your room, puffing out your chest a little bit aside of your treasure. There were a lot of stuffed animals and a cool bed window to look out. It was a great room. You hadn't had anyone to show it in a while, but you were really proud of it. You leaned closer to your drawers on the wall. I like this. Thank you. You're welcome. You smiled at him. You were proud of the perfect piece of art, and you were glad you noticed. Turned around the room and looked a little more, studying the books on desktop and pictures of the wall. Glad for the company. It was nice to have someone new to play with. Then his eyes laid on the box, beach things you collected, tucked away by your door. He took a step towards it and before hesitating poked where he at it and said, "What's that?" "Sort of stuff I found at the beach."
Oh.
"Do you have any driftwood in there?" Tag around the bug in the middle of the room and Kobe flopped down next to it. "I do, look." You got a piece at the bottom, still covered with specks of sand.
Neat.
This is a good collection. You got the sense from the tone of his voice. He wasn't really just saying it to be nice, or being like Shelby. He actually met it. I forgot about Shelby. Shelby? He's a friend with my old sister. He's supposed to hang out here this afternoon. Do I have to see him? You don't have to do anything, but he's going to be here. Anyway, I found a pair of shells here stuffed even bigger rocks. You pull out a shell after explaining where you got each one and held up to the light. Then there was big ones, small ones, pink ones, purple ones, and orange ones. Most of them washed off in the bottom sink where you brought them home and cleaned off the sand. For years you could name them. You had a whole picture book dragging of different shells and sea life. You learned by flipping through the pages. Very classy each by the shores or by the shells themselves. Cody listens to what you looked like and full of his attention. It was all new spirits occurring such devout force. For some reason, it made your cheeks so warm. You never felt like this around someone before. It was kind of weird. Kids come down to the living room. You could tell the idea was making a lot of happy. But Mom was going to give you much a chance to hang around. Chloe hasn't been like this meeting you. You guess it was because you think you found each other by accident. Not parents made it happen. The story was right by telling how it was part of the world would be a bad idea. Before you knew it, you both the next door downstairs and then in the living room, right for Shelby's face. The two of you sat in the living room, your house was. Sorry for that. I wanted to keep looking at them. Right. Press it open. We can look while we wait for Shelby. Reach and pull it out of the golden shell. Oh. He looked like he would have spun around and turn around and held it up to his shine. I think this one's one of the best ones. You can take it. He looked surprised and his eye grew out. Really? Sure. You like it a lot, right? But I don't want to take it from you if it's okay. So impressed he was hesitant except something because he didn't know you very well. No, it's okay for you. Pushed the shell against his chest, willing for him to receive the prize. But Gopher shook his head to keep his arms tight at his side. It was a battle that you couldn't win, at least not today. Who was your neighbor now? Maybe you could give him a food another time. Both of you were sat silent on the floor, and looking through your collection of beach things. And the doorbell rang. He jumped around by himself. Since the person hadn't knocked, you figured it was probably Shelby. He knew where you looked for that. At least Fred, you nod, but he didn't seem to make Kobe feel better. It's very obvious that Kobe didn't hide his feelings well. You could tell what he's thinking right away. This isn't a good idea. It's just Shelby. And where would you even go? He's at our only door. If you go upstairs, he'll find you. He glanced around with his eyes wide, and finally paused with it again back of the house. Go out the window. Hurry, walking towards it, trying to think of something to stop, then pause. Cheer up, Shelby's gonna like you. He likes everyone, I mean it. But I don't want to see him. I don't know him. I get it. This is the best way to meet Shelby son. Thanks. Doug poked his head in the living. It was important to know sure if he heard what you said or not, but you guessed that he had.
Hi.
Hi, Nathaniel. Hi, Cody. We shot on easy glance. I'm Shelby. It's nice to meet you. You're adorable. Yeah. You have a lot of freckles. Right, I do. What are you guys doing? Looking at shells.
You do it too?
Awesome. Cody shrugged and didn't look back at your box of beach vine. How about this one? The plan this afternoon, as far as you were concerned, was to sit looking at the beach things some more. Weren't really in the mood to do much else, except Kobe was having fun. This is a chef good shit. I found it last week. I kept it because it looks neat. It's a pretty color too, like my cat. Ass. Red and pink did look a little bit wrapped around his arm. Pink is a nice color. Okay.
Oh.
Is it your favorite? Not really. What is? Maybe green or blue. It might be yellow. Oh, those are all cool colors.
I guess.
I like those too.
Awesome.
Both of them smile. Like usual, it didn't take long for Shelby to get fragrant. Chloe was his favorite. Without her around, Shelby didn't seem to know what to do with herself. And Chloe wasn't like your sister. He wasn't much like you either. So is he coming back? Don't know. Where did she go? I think she's at the beach probably. Is she at the park? Her park? Cody lights up mention of a park. He looks towards me. There's a park? Yep, but it's a bit old. Can you show me? I want to go. He saw her up before you even answered, and Shelly jumped up beside him and said, Really, you do too? Right, Nathan? The park is fun. The park is great.
Yeah.
It's right next to the beach, so there's a lot of stuff to do, and lots of sand. It's a jungle gym and a bunch of swing. That sounds like it would be cool. Are we going to find Shelly? I don't know. I haven't wanted to see her. Just want to check out the park. And without any gun, Shelly's finally turned to you. Okay. Pick up with boys wanting to go. It was only fair. After getting permission from your moms, you three of you went out and head out. After it was a short walk to the park, and Lily had told your moms that it was so short she could always be allowed by herself there. When you found her, she was hanging out on the jungle gym, swinging back and forth. Hey, Lizzie. Her face light up when she saw you, and her big grown Nathaniel Shelby. Hi. She dropped to the ground and landed with a soft thud in the sand. A split second. Shelby had abandoned you two and struggled over to her. You weren't used to being left out. Well, it's just we, but now Cody was here. It was nice to have someone who stuck with you. Who's that? It's Cody. He's new.
Hi.
I remember. Hi, Cody. Welcome to my park. Nobody ever comes here to play, so this is where we get together. She dragged me wide her arms friends to the area of the newcomers. That introduction colored glister in your eyes quietly enough that others wouldn't overhear. I thought kids can own their own places like parks or hills. You couldn't help but laugh tiny bit. When Lizzie continued talking to you, you took a chance to kick off your shoes and wiggle your toes through the warm sand. Nice, huh? In this neighborhood, I'm the one who come up with these ideas. You are?
Uh-huh.
Yes, I am. Rose could handle the job. Lily's the oldest. By a lot. My mom says you are Nathaniel's age. Yeah. That's so. I'm still the only one in the group with a double digits. Cheeseburger, please. No, I'm not gonna want anything. I have a belly. So I'm not really in the mood to eat. What about the other kids? Other kids? There aren't any. We're the only kids here. and Shelby just visits from another place. Not even Taurus Road brings her kids here. This is the land of onions. Be careful with the odor. Don't try to steal your youth.
Oh.
For a second, it looked like he might cry again, but something in his eyes shifted and looked back and looked. Kind of older people, like moms and dads or grandpas, or just who don't have kids. They hate kids. Why? Why haven't done anything? Stop saying that. You're going to upset him. Yuan said quickly, hoping Kobe wouldn't start crying again. He sniffed. His forehead crest was worried. Kobe was staring Kobe down, but Kobe didn't even look at her anymore. Didn't seem to care she was there, and went back to his own head. Shelby was next one to speak, kind of unaware of the situation. I met Lizzie and Nathaniel in school. You see tons of kids there once summer is over. I don't want to go to school. Oh, I don't want summer to end. I looked down to the dirt. He hasn't had much luck striking up conversations with Kobe. I like summer vacation a lot too. All the building tints in the air suddenly vanished when Lily laughed again. It showed just at how weird she thought Kobe was. It's something else entirely. She didn't even know, but she laughed and her face scrunched up.
Okay.
Welcome to Sunbird. Take a seat, put up your feet, and get used to it. She offered him a small smile, and that at least looked to reassure him. For the rest of summer, Kobe was there. You saw him more often than Shelby, and on some days he was in a bad mood, or busy. You saw him more than busy. You became a sample of your everyday life. The sun reflected between the beach and where. Looking back at it years later, you realized you had a tiny crush on him right away. One that had made you spend as much time as possible with him as you did. Of course, he was only the start of things. And we have the little scene now. Run away. I could see him doing that right away. Right away. It was early, and you were on your playground. Lily planned on joining you there later. You weren't sure if she was busy with right now, or kid stuff what you imagined. That was okay. That was fortunate in your mind. It was Kobe might be still free to come. As you walked the street, you wondered how you might find your neighbor. He appeared right in front of you, almost as he was a mind reader. Kobe, I was looking at first. Coming to the playground with me, Philip?
No.
Sorry. It looks strangely serious. It had a even bigger deal than whatever mystery thing Lily had to do. I'm leaving that time. What? Where? Chef and shirt down his back legs, slowly over his shoulders. Lily liked to stuff things to his pocket. From what you see. But people sometimes carry bags with them. It hadn't been very much worldly until now. Back was filled with cartoons, waves, and dolphins. He gripped one of the stripes tightly, one in his hand. I just wanted you to know. Hopefully didn't glance up and meet your eyes. His story grew weary. Can I go too? He looked at you. You hoped he would agree, but instead he shook his head. I'll come back though. Sometime. I don't know when. But we can do stuff then. Very firm smiled your way. Without another word, Kirby turned on his and started walking away. See you when you're done. He kept going. His focus wasn't on you anymore. What was that all about? He worried as his back grew smaller and smaller, and then he realized you were still standing most sideways. Thought about your early plan of playing in the park. Suddenly, it didn't seem as fun anymore, not without Kobe. But it wasn't like you could force him to play with you. He had things to do. Stay there. Could play at the park some other day. It wasn't like it was going anywhere. You couldn't bring yourself to leave like this. Didn't move from your spot. You just continued looking on quietly. Didn't take you long to realize he was going up the street. You promised that that wasn't good over there. Not the park or the beach or the stores or his house or anything. You broke in and run, heading straight towards Kobe. Just knew he might not know what you did. Slowed down when you reached his side. He glanced at you from the corner of his eyes and frowned. Go wait, Nathaniel. But you're not going anywhere. You have to go other way to get someplace. His mouth twisted as he bringing you warn. I'm still going. Why? Where? What are you going? Walking. Why can't I come with you if you're just walking? I let out a deep sigh. You got the feeling he was starting to get mad at you. Screw you, I'm leaving. I'm going to be gone for a while. I still want to go with you. You can't. Why not? I came suddenly stop, and you almost walked ahead of him because you weren't expecting him. My dad doesn't know. If you come, you'll get in trouble when he finds out. It started growing in your stomach. You're not supposed to be leaving? Susan groaned and shook his head. Dad isn't home right now. I left him a letter so he won't get confused when he gets back. But you can't tell anyone this. You can pretend you never saw me. I still want to go. I don't care if I get in trouble. Don't do it all by yourself. Pretty hard expressive or whatever. As you could tell, he was expecting to hear that from you.
Really?
You don't think it's a bad idea or something? I don't know, but if we're doing it anyway, I should too. The curtain smiled.
Okay.
Okay, you can come. You bring please as he would. Thought it might take longer since he was going alone. Turned a bit in the middle of the road sidewalk, so did you, and Kobe went and saw. Pointing shoulders with a thumb. Let's go to my house first. I can get my backpack. I can't, sorry. Huh? You get to have one. It's not that. I don't want your parents to catch us. Your moms could think it's weird if we have bags. They might ask. You don't have a lot of time anyway. Putting his backpack and patting his head in front of Navarro.
It's okay.
Don't worry, I packed snacks. We'll be alright. Wish you brought your bag along. Just be safe. But his expression made sense. Alright, we can leave. But no. He seemed to be a much better spirit when you first ran into him. You were glad. He wasn't always been upset. This was fine though. Otherwise he wouldn't be Kobe, but you liked seeing him smile. But just took the first steps and you looked and neared him. As both of you ran up the street. You were off to unknown territory. You ran through the first few neighborhoods like this, and your feet pounded unconsciously. Whenever one of you got tired, you took a break for a minute. The moment there was a sound, you would be off again, in case someone you knew realized what you were up to. Before you, because of how curious you were, the two of you didn't run into anyone, not even other kids joined there somewhere. Felt like you had suddenly become criminals, always worrying if someone was on your trail. But as tense as it was, we're so glad you had the opportunity to take a proper break. Kobe waits for you to stop once you got to run the house disappeared, boards were taking their places. You were the way and business part of town. This was the first time you had came here by foot. Before, your moms have always drove you to this place in their cars. He leans up to you in a near tree and wipes off his forehead. Brace your hands on your knees, breathing hard. You look over to the road. So far. strange shrug reflects across Chloe's face at your words before he nods and then spoke with a hug. My mom brings me and Lily here for shopping. Yeah, I've never been down here before, not without Dad. So we're pleased by that. We're doing good. It's not even night time. Really? I would not do this, but I did. Starting to feel good about it too. It was weird and worried. And it was weird and worried to be here without parents, but it was cool too. I didn't think Lily had been this far by herself. Sure, you were here with Cody, so you weren't alone, but still, this was turning to be a good time. Cody slid down his backpack and often unzipped it. He watched you carry as he stuffed his hand and searched for something. Then he pulls out 2 junk food boxes and hands off. Here, thanks. All this rain made me thirsty. So you took a moment to unwrap the straws and poke them into a special circle part of the box. This was warm, but still good. Slightly concerned after your first sip, your throat was beginning to ache from how dry it got. It really been a while since this all started. After another sip of your juice, you glanced towards Kobe's bag, and he hasn't closed it. What else is in there? Still a few juice boxes left. He put inside and softly spots them. Got some snacks from the kitchen, chips, muffins, banana, candy. He really had a lot, but he wasn't exactly anymore. I took a couple clothes, a flashlight, and a first aid kit from Dad's bathroom, and a blanket. Oh, and some money Dad gave me a while back that I haven't spent yet. His mouth aches. Oh, always right. He brought a lot of stuff. I wouldn't have thought of grabbing a flashlight or first aid kit. I told you I was going away. I didn't know what to say. The little smile Coach had been wearing, or was gone by now. Like it's never been there in the first place. Watched him as he zipped up the backpack and slipped it on. He started walking without a single glance over. Thought he did take a small, happy sip of his juice. For some time, the two of you went forward, complete silence. The more ground you covered, the more serious Stowe seemed to become. He hasn't looked back at you or said anything at all. Just took your empty juice box from you and tossed it away in his bag. What was it? He knew it had to be more than all of that. The sun burned itself from his place, and the sky grew lower and lower. The streets came on. If it has been early nightfall. It was late. We weren't ready to turn back. And there was COVID. So you continued to travel past us. Then sun falls over again. You had no idea to break it, or even wanted to. You had said it was a tiny town, but it felt absolutely grandiose. Even the business part of the town ended too. And go sidewalking more along the road. Your gut instead. Marvin, that was enough to stop him. On West, there was only one option. The journey some continue. Once you had about Kobe Cottage, it soon became searching. There was only one way out of town after all. Your feet hurt, you were tired, and you didn't have any parents with you. But somehow you have reached the end of Sunbird. There was a sign telling you. Had lived in Sunbird forever, and it was a very rare accident that you've seen this sign. Most everything in your life happened into the city limits. Then the road seemed scary in a way and paralyzed you. Come to Kobe. Made it here just before nightfall. Now what? But now what? Outside town there was nothing. How was he going to get where he wanted to go? Kobe, however, didn't stop. He kept walking. As he neared sight, he finally stopped with a relief. Took up back and sat down, crushed his leg and breathed. Lars stepped beside the boy. He stepped up, dragging right through it again.
Whoa.
What's snacks you want. You're almost taken back at his voice. It's been a while since you heard it. Push your laps and recover the snacks you left off earlier. I want a muffin. He pulled out 2 muffins. After passing you the food, he took a bite out of the top of the muffin. Stare over your friends and stare past, still ahead, son. Turn away. Sunset, both you finishing. Now it's dark, turning far through moonlight. Roscoe grabbed the flashlight from his bag. Where are we going? Sleeping out here?
Yes.
He was sweating deathly again. Oh, let this light on. A beam cut through the darkness. And where there you sit. You pull up your knees, your chest, wrapping your arms around it. You weren't cold. Some nights were still warm. You felt like you did. I want to ask something. Both focus didn't want wave the rope, but he nodded. Do you want to leave Songbird? That's so bad. At first, Kobe was quiet. Stared at yourself, thinking you wouldn't say anything. Then he spoke. Mom called today. Checked up on me and stuff. She asked what Songbird was like and how I was doing. It was okay. But when I asked if she's coming here, she said I couldn't go back here. Not right now. She had to move somewhere else first. He glanced at the ground and his voice cracked as he finished. Why can't I see her anymore? He used the uncared arm to rub both his eyes. I'm going to go myself. I don't need anyone to take me. You know the direction of your old house? He wanted to see his mom. Maybe you had the idea to run away. Maybe you would have had the idea to run away if you were cold. But it didn't mean it'll work. She's not there. They both left it. She's staying with someone else until she moved somewhere else. Where's her friend's house? Kobe was silent for a moment and he poked a hole in his perfect plan. And he shook his head like he was trying to clear it. And he spoke more and more afraid to himself. If I don't see Mom, then she'll... Tear glanced Kobe's eyes around. Some tried to blink, but he suddenly shook. Her heart twisted in his chest, no matter how he'd seen him cry. You tell me, Mom doesn't call that much. And I haven't seen her in so long. While he hiccuped and wiped his eyes with the back of his arm, Seth got up and asked himself, if I don't go, she'll be gone. She'll forget about me. She wouldn't do that. How do you know? Snowflake could forget about you both. His cheeks cleared and flushed and broke eye contact and looked down. He sniffed and he seemed confident. I'm not sure if that's right. You're out of time. We can't stay here forever, and we can't go out there. We gotta go back. Oh, Brown frowned. His gold appeared on his lip. He turned away from him. He stared back. He couldn't just stop. Come on, Kobe. After a few seconds, Kobe twisted back around and he would look at you and okay, let's go. I don't want you to get in trouble. I don't want something bad to happen. He was doing it for you. That gave you a warm feeling inside, even if he wished he didn't want to leave in the first place. And that was it. Together you walked from the exercise. You felt hurt by the point, and you were tired. The recurring attempt brought him being coming home, and that's what mattered. On the long walk back, it was thanks to his streetlights and full moon. You could see in the dark night. You were trying to stick together. Something in your arms walk caused you to bump into each other. The back of your hands brushed his. You glanced at Kobe's sheeplessness. His finger curled around your palm, and you held in response. and then you continued the street and held it in hand. You weren't sure how much time had passed. All you knew that the only moment was right. The rim of your eyelids were showing near of Chloe was on the sidewalk. And the next, you were snapped back to attention, right before. You froze around to see the car approaching. It was definitely to make out who it was. The lights were so bright. Instead of coming down the road, the car slowed near where you sat. The car rolled down, rolling your face raw. It was very familiar. Mom? She shouted back, not just because there was some connection between you and her. Where have you kids been? I've been looking everywhere for you. They found an exit sign. He blinked.
What?
You know what? Never mind. She stopped looking at you, instead shutting her head apart. Both her hands were gripping the wheel. Each turn grip grabbed your hand tighter. It was hard to face. Goat ate you up inside.
Alright.
Get in, let's get you two home. That's at least made her show up worth it. Felt like crazy from all the walking you've done today. You yanked the door open, sliding door, slipping inside the back seat and then climbing over. And Kobe had enough room to climb into. He followed him wordless, tucking his back leg in his seat. Mom looked at you and Kobe from the rear wheel. You had us a string worry. This wasn't a good thing to do, not at all. I'm going to both you not as one.
Sorry.
Miss Hart. Sorry, Mom. She saw me being not enough to act to let you go, though. Still have to apologize to everyone else, too. With that, Mom started the car and you were off too. The rest of the ride, no one else said anything. You thought all of you were pretty tired. In fact, you must have dozed off at some point because you woke up to the sound of engine stopping. When you look around since the surround, you realize Kobe was leaning his head out against you. He'd been asleep before it, too. The moment your eyes met, you turned away. We're back. You yawned and got out of the car. Kobe came out after you, putting his backpack on again. Mom locked the door and motioned you two towards the house. She opened the front of the house and let you go in first. Mom appeared quickly. She must have been waiting eagerly. There was a phone in her hand. It worried you, thinking who she might be talking to. The tiny light showed relaxed when she saw you and Cody. Thank God, yes, you found them both. Yes, I did. They were walking down the main street together. What were you two doing that far this time of night? I have any idea how far that was. How unsafe? He picked at Kobe. He still looked exhausted. His eyes were puffing and there was dying tired stuck to his cheeks. I had to see Mom. That Dad didn't want me to go alone. Your own mom shared a look. You weren't sure what it meant, but they always did that. Or if they read each other's minds. Since they were couldn't tell her, you stole a glance around the house. Lily wasn't in sight. Where was she? Must have finished what she was doing that morning ages ago. Where's Lizzie? Her sister in her room, fast asleep, the same way you should have been. She went out earlier to look for the two of you. When she actually found out you were missing, she tried to pretend a daughter, but you made her sick with worry, saying she checked all the hiding places she could think of because you couldn't find either of you. You got me saying you were in classes at that. Mom nodded to her. She must be sleeping. You can sit down wherever you like. Mom smiled warmly and motioned to Libby. Chloe looked up at her and then limped over. You followed behind me. The room wasn't even far. Several, so you heard your mom talking softly. He wanted to go see his father? Poor thing. That explains it, at least. Still, I'm not sure exactly excuses it. So dangerous to go off to town like that. It hasn't Finn had a hard time right now. Couldn't expect a child to handle the matter. Truly can't be helped. But that's enough of that. You should tell Cliff and others. He's here before panic gets out of hand. There could be riots. I'll call. And go front to tell everyone still out there. You keep an eye out on the kids. Make sure they don't make any more trips today. Got it, hon. Billy's just sat on the couch, sitting back down, and he stared at his hand. So weird. What is it? Someone's looking for me. They all knew I tried to leave. I wanted to run away and not come back this time, so I don't have to see them again. Please never run away again. Cody looked guilty from even suggesting that. Then not being serious. I won't. Not for real. You had more to say to Kobe and asked him, but before he could, the door front open. Mom was back. Mr. Home close behind. Made of blank lines and couch, and he glanced hands over his son. Oh God, are you alright? Length of his hair had out of his ponytail. His eyes were dark and like he'd been crying too. Stared up instead, showing eyes wide in front of his glasses. Really didn't expect it to be a big deal. Okay. That's good. That's good. I'm so glad for that. Claps his hand on his son's shoulders and tipped his mouth, but the covers of his lip twisted and slunk. See one going into a frown instead, which seemed to have an effect on him. Miss Cove turned to you, still smiling. I'm so happy you're alright too, Nathaniel. He looked at your moms. Thanks for helping as always. That's pitiful. And I'm very sorry for ruining your afternoon with this. I can't apologize enough. It was no trouble, Cliff, really. I couldn't be helped. It was way something was bothering to happen sometimes. But I wasn't the only one who decided it was a good idea to disappear today. Exactly. We're just happy the kids are safe and sound. Now for the first time of the day, realized you were running with Kobe. He had run away, then too. Only not as far as he had today. Kobe must have had a similar thought because he mournfully apologized. Sorry, Dad. I won't leave anymore, promise. Some life seemed to return to him, thinking to his promise. This time around his smile and more generous.
I'm so glad.
That's a relief to hear. Next time you feel like running off, come to me first, okay? We can talk. I'm here for you. Kobe nods, and his dad reached out and muffled his hair playfully. Although he had made a face, Kobe didn't try to dodge a hand, as he usually did. Let's go home, bud. I bet you're tired as I am. Mr. Hope took over the carrying Kobe's backpack and still clapped a free hand around his shoulder, and he stood up from the couch. The five of you walked over the front door so you could see them off. But thank your mom for him at the 3 more times before war, looking out and Kobe made you to fall. But he stopped and turned to you before turning the phone. Nathaniel, good thing I was there. Smile flying across his lips, there and then gone. Before he was gone, you reached and gave him a hug goodbye for a hard day. He held you a bit more tired than you could have been, and you almost grew out of knowing. I'm glad you were here. The embrace was tight, but brief. He let go as soon as he wanted to. And with that, Kobe had left. Mom closed the door behind you, eyeing them, and you ran dead on your feet at this point. You figured that you must have been exhausted because your mom sent you right to bed with no more discussion on what happened that day. Once you hit the pillow, your eyes slipped closed on their own. Your eyelids were so heavy you couldn't imagine opening them until the next morning. Waking up much more than you felt. Your last It was almost like a dream. It definitely wasn't. Your mom's face when you saw them sure than that. Our breakfast you were safe. I went over yesterday's sentence for. There were none too pleasing that you enjoyed turn knowing that he wanted to leave. As punishment, your mom took away your TV treasures for the next few days. It was annoying that she couldn't watch her shows with you around, but she adjusted. Wherever starting to spin, your mom's reminded you that they weren't punishing you for no reason. It was dangerous to go out on your own, so without telling one, you could have got hurt or worse. As upset as you were, you understood. The son talked to Kobe about what happened too. Don't know what he said exactly, but couldn't forgive Kobe immediately. Didn't do anything to punish Kobe for anyway. He blamed no one but himself for Kobe's turning to leaving home. You caught your mom doing it once in hushed tones, frowning at each other. It was pretty serious. There was a word used for it you haven't heard or before, self-fragile. But there wasn't anything they could do to change Mr. Hunt's mind. Your neighbor stopped you and Kobe offered for the next weeks or so to stress their concern and spurring events. So, as they always did, days continued to pass. So did talks about Kobe running away. Things eventually returned back to normal as they had to. The storm kept going and kept having something to share with Kobe. Now let's go to the library. Every year, the Sunbird Library held a summer reading program. Your mothers and Lily were big fans of it. Mom and Mommy began to learn reading, and Lily became so she could win prizes. When it came to what you thought of having to read a bunch of books, then going to the library was a common movement. I'm a bit both. It was just something you did every year. Didn't question it much. I already knew you weren't as passionate about it, but you would never put much of a fight over something so tiny. You and Lily went with Shelby before the end of that year. You brought Kobe too. His dad had been so over the moon about Kobe being included that he drove all four of you. Never had thought of being Kobe's dad before. Seemed a lot shyer than your mom's. After having a group inside, Mr. Green gave all you right away wrong. It's going on. Have fun, kids. Stay inside of the library, you hear? I wish I could watch you in action, but your poor old dad has to finish up some work. I thought, sure that won't get away. Heck, I probably holding you kids back. There's probably no thought from his son. Most likely only a joke. Kobe's dad seemed to run ahead. I'll farm around when this shining thing ends. Yeah, you can go home now. You don't have to throw me out the door. Your sister already throwed her in the room, cut him off. For once, Kobe looked grateful she did there. We have to go find a table, Miss Halton. You can talk to Kobe afterwards when we win. Okay. See you now. Have fun. Did I say that already? My average eyes is really catch up with me now. Bye, Dad. Bye, son. Before you watch him shuffle out of the library, that's over sure as Kobe once more. Bye, Mr. Oakton. Thanks for bringing us. Thanks, Liz. I don't know what you were making me for. Are you copying Sharon? Then Kobe was already dancing around the What are those for? What? I want to go look around and see what's in here. But the quiz is starting soon. That's why we came here. Why friend, son? Then I started between Rosie and Color. You can do it without me, right? You don't need a bunch of people. You and Dad stay with the librarians. She can go somewhere by herself. Believe I am shutting at both of them, and then his eyes met yours. Why are you looking at him? The dance is with us. Do you want to come with me? I would rather go explore.
Seriously?
Chloe looks right, but happy at the same time. When he came down to it, his eyes was fresh and new. Oh, fine, let's go, shall we? Okay. He saw him floating near his sister Storm. Shelby had raced to keep up with her. He cares a lot about that. Yeah, Lily gets really confident in him. I can tell. Since you've been here a lot, we could play hide and seek. I see. Now explore? Yeah. I'll search for you and you search for me. And we'll really have to look everywhere. We're not exactly sure how effective that would be, but you can say he was totally wrong. I'll hide first. Then Chloe turns off the back of the library. Or agreed to play with him instead, so you cover your face and wait for 10 seconds. When you look up, he was nowhere to be seen. He glanced over towards where he went, and Chloe had much time to hide, but he was already invisible. Place you started to chat. Beside the fairy tale display, next to Peter Pan poster behind, eyeing the Solar Strike model. Solar Strike model was pretty neat. It had all planets of the sun out of the way, and it was a little secret hidden in the science books. But he saw a tiny pair of shoes floating out of the earth, so he leaned towards it. I know our home planet didn't have legs.
Hey.
Oh, hey. Turn back to Earth, and it's tiny. From that spot, I think it's supposed to be a solar eclipse. It kind of blocks out the sun. You can tilt your head. He was right. There was something you always walk by, but you never noticed that before. Hide and seek seemed to be working out fine and interesting to him.
Okay.
Your turn. I'm going to cover my eyes and count to 10. I promise I won't pay. He hid his eyes behind his palms, and you went to hide. This animals in this fiction section. And by the posters. By the firewear station. In the faction section. Decide to hide from Kobe in the fantasy section. He's never really mentioned being interested in fantasy, so pretty good odds to hide there for a while. If he didn't pay attention or read much, he might glance over it. And you're right, sort of. He left you waiting for a while, long enough to eventually push yourself to your feet and stretch your legs. You wandered around, but Kobe wasn't even trying. Over the edge of the shelf, you saw him staring at a bunch of books. Hey, you almost saw me. Kobe's intense is on.
Sorry.
I was going to come find you soon. It's alright, for something. That's a full shelf and had cleared up his attention. There's the orange season. They haven't off the animals and magic lands and inviting. My mom used to read it with me. Oh. One of the snobbies. You weren't sure what to do. You were sure he wanted to do. His mom was always starting to talk. He turned back the book himself and all that. It was nice remembering and made him happy instead of sad this time.
Right.
My turn again. Start counting so I can pick a spot high school. Okay. And drive off and fully close your eyes. 1 Mississippi. When time was up, he was gone again. It was still a good place to hide, so you figured. Next to the kids' direct posters. Figured there was a poster near the posters kind of lurking kids directly. Could have hidden a little bit of green area next to him. I'm posted saying the words Joe B. Jones. Don't call her bracelet in vain letters. Pause to stare and think. Why would Harry call it Jones? Sticking your head clear in the direction, and he took to see who was sitting in the comfort chair. And sure enough, it was Kobe. But he was absolutely sure in a book he was reading. He hadn't even noticed you yet. I don't think most people read while playing hide and seek. I glanced up at you and motioned roughly. Oh, hi, Nathaniel. I wasn't sure when you did yours. It took a while. Not that long. Could be worse, but it could be better. Let's keep playing. I still win. Put his hands over his eyes, but before he rang off, and I approached the two of you. Oh, kids, I've been looking for you. Pick up his fingers and said, Us? You must be Cody. Your dad told us he was waiting for you by the entry. Her blank opened like he was going to say something, and then glanced at his pink hat. Very clear to get away, I'm sure. Is my sister and Lizzie with him? She's taller than us and has orange hair. You're Nathaniel, right? You're not. I found both of you at once. That's right, she's with him. And the little guy with freckles. Come on, let's go. So you can close up for the night. Ready to go home? You can close all up for him. For the ragtag group members shouting were all waiting. There you are. She was found, you could tell from all across. And it was only much more obvious to that question. Did you win? Came in second. Hey gang, I thought you'd been with them the whole time, Kobe. I thought you didn't go off by yourself at least. Kobe glanced over you and picked up his statue.
Yeah.
You too. A more smile spread over Kobe's face.
That's...
Even so, next time you should Kobe. That's around with him, but Kobe, just like always, had snuck off without thinking anything. He left, leaving Kobe tried to be the first one in the car. With a sudden burst of speed, Lily darted so that could still expected to be Maud. Even something like that to race and see. There was nothing but the three of you could do except and pretend the library didn't notice the coming. Though Lucy had Victor in common, Lucy, car, you could tell her crossed arms and pouting. She's still not forgiving your betrayal, but he hadn't been pleased about how he had sit in the middle. His mood lifted as you sat next to him. Did you say you came in second place? That's good going. No, it's not. Cast it over her shoulder. Sure, starting is impressive. It's good too. That makes the family the winner in your family. Someone got me.
What?
Those kept fighting me in our game. I lost. Me and rematch. Hide and seek. Just the two of you? That doesn't count as winning. Why not? It's not special. There's no judge or prize. You were eyes didn't see and she forgot. Oh, it's so hard to win. This wasn't much of a prize either. Dad. That's it. Chloe sees Dad's eyes letting you in and showing as it's called. Give me a prize. Oh, a matter of fact. Focus in and rub the head of the driving phone. Complete coding through before him. Right. The biggest thing on the flyer for this week was a chance to get a free fried pizza coupon, wasn't it? How about a token takeout place and we can have pizza at home for dinner? The hut puffed her arms close to her chest. Is Mom even going to let us take a pizza from Mr. Hall? We'll see, I'll ask her. I'll talk to your mom about this. Who will see? Thanks, Mr. Hamilton. Yeah, thanks, Dad. I'll do what I can. Ha ha! We win! You should really have stuck with your roof. Chris had been fun. There was a plan when I dropped you off. We stayed together and didn't leave the library. I'm glad that I will. There's a lot of trouble you could get into if you had a buddy along for a ride. Just be careful next time. Worry about you, and I bet that them parents wouldn't want him to run off unexpected either. Okay, son? Not the last time. That's my boy. Now enough time from your old dad. Let's decide what topics we're gonna get. Pepperoni. Sounds good. Anything else? And Kevin considers Jen with them pizza on the rest of the drive. We told one events and other little kids there was a band to explain how gross they were. That away Kobe Dad's laugh up in front made you wonder, was he doing it on purpose? You had a fun day already, but close enough promised a free pizza after all. More time hanging out with Colton made it sweeter. We were glad you decided not to do the quiz this time. You've always been curious about how things would play out next year. Let's have a barbecue. We had brought you along to the big park today, which was the exciting job of living up to its title. The park near your house, with its lowland park ground equipment, wasn't near even a quarter the size of grass, trees, and layout before you knew it. As it was next town over and too far for you to walk by yourself, you didn't get to visit much, and you soaked up the entertainment. Another difference between the park and the one you were in your neighborhood was the one had visitors other than you, Leslie, and Shelby, and Kobe. Today was the first you ever seen it. Thanks to the community getting together, learning people from all over the location promise, argue, and fireworks. The family and Kobe were two of many. What seemed like dozens of cars were parked already when you arrived. You saw Kobe hesitate as he took on glances of strangers by your mom. Lily bounced a ball of her feet during counting her excitement. I'm looking forward to meeting new kids. It was going to be fun. Mom had told you the people running the community weren't really charging for it, but she wanted them to get something in return, which is why you're not allowed to touch any of the beautiful ice and cupcakes she had been carrying on a lot during the drive, with special route for them. Every time the car made a turn, she clenched the box tight enough in her nephew's strength, mostly to everyone else's amusement. Young came into the party. A part of the juice box was tucked under his arm, being relieved in the car trunk. You bet there was then no such sign around the cone getting 3 in one piece. But the box did like a beautiful shine of burnt treasure cupcakes. Everyone all set? Should be. Chloe, did you put sunscreen on before we left? Yeah, I always do. You don't have to tell me. Phone did, his head as carrying his son rug. They turned with a smile. Well, once you get burned, or do I eat a bit? It'll be a busy day.
Wow.
Don't think that's going to be any rest of any second part. Your mom nods at the table ahead. There were all sorts of food and drinks. She was right. There was plenty to go around. Parents head over with you and Lizzie and Chloe trailing after them. A bunch of grown-ups were clinging around there, chatting, but you were more invited what was on the table. Some of the family children needs and eggs and chips, but there was a lot you didn't recognize. Your mom said that you weren't to touch any food until they said it was time to eat. You wanted to listen to their rules. You felt that was important. Saw that Mom and Rushford were serving the food and drinks they brought. Mom gave the company one final wordy look before turning to you with a smile. Since the topic's at hand, how about freshening up with something to drink? Yay! That'd be great. After the ones out, there was a giant ice core on ground. Okay. Bless me. Okay. And box of juice and milk, as well as bottled water. The drink was soda. I am willing to drink soda juice. I only like milk if it's chocolate milk, really. I'm not a plain milk person. And I refuse to drink water. A little soda trickled down your nose as you gulped it down. A little group took a break while clearing their thirst. Mr. Armstrong is left and enjoyment. I hit the spot, but you kids should have some fun. You guys take your stuff with you and join other kids in games. Don't go too far from the table. We'll be keeping an eye out, so don't even think about sneaking off. We're not going to the other parts of the park today. Ralph answered commands. They did sound directly at her, but she scanned the shrine and nodded her head towards a group of kids like generally directed her arm. Point the way. Let's go over there. Her mouth was down, and she looked at his parents and lowered up into new kids, clearly not flaring her off. Then he hushed his shoulder and tagged along after Lizzie. Well, I'm gonna go follow them. You follow after Lizzie and Kobe. Wait for you all the officers with parents. Hurry up! You took a pick up your spot and moved into a jog, but you and Lizzie passed away at the speed you and Chloe had no choice but break into running. The other cars were far out in the field. At your speed, it wasn't long until you reached an approach, and you turned to greet the newcomers. Hi, I'm Lizzie. This is my little brother, Nathaniel. And the one with the cast is Kobe. Hi. I simply lifted his arm and greeted. There was a lot of cutting hellos and names from the other kids. One of the kids would be Lo's age or older. A couple seemed to be the same age as you and Kobe, and there was one tiny one thing with his arm floating in his chest. What are you up to? The first kid is a boy with curly black hair and their green sneakers who introduced himself as Harvard, just as he looked at the others. Not much. The second kid who piped up, Liz, had half face on behind the glasses that she wore. I'm excited. Glanced over her shoulder. Following the glance, you saw the spray of water, and the head of someone got splashed in the face. Before he spot the person who shot him. Some people are playing with water guns, but there aren't any left. Smaller kid lumbered at that. You guessed that was why he was sulking. Stricker, who hadn't said much, patted his shoulder. So that's out. New kid raced out over it with a glance in her eyes, with her bride sitting behind her. You spot the pun or pun in her hand. Too late. When you turned her, had already been tied. Hey. So who'd been caught first was trying. I rubbed the water from his face. He rubbed at your ear, trying to sift the water and put it there. You laughed. It was pretty funny. You weren't hurt. Water touching down your neck. Her son dropped off for more quickly. Other than by your reaction. Didn't seem to mean anything by it. They turned the feather out of her hair. The girl's not meaning anything by it. It didn't change the fact that she sprayed us. Chloe looked so unpleased. His face lit up the idea. Maybe we should catch her. She won't be able to spray people if she runs away from everyone. Yeah. I noticed that the other kids running at him, or lack of it in the game. Okay. She joined the group, carrying the girls with the pistol. Turning all over her shoulder, she laughed and shot her pistol in the air. Only a couple drops squeezed out. She started covered Jenny with your team as Owen stood on his foot, being crouched from Cody's shoulder. Oops. Oh, he shot you, smiled, giving you way of coming. It's okay. You were close. Oh, saw the girl, but you weren't alone. Lily was her face and the two older kids were hot on her heels too. You outran. You outran them with effort. You weren't as fast as them because of they were speedy. You aren't as fast as them because you just weren't fast. You moved to the side to let them pass. You don't want to win this race. I can outrun them easily. I was a runner as a kid. As a teen as well, I was a speedy person. I think only one person, back when I did run, there was only one guy that could actually outrun me. That's not true much anymore. Last time I ran, I did running with a group. Since I didn't run for a few years when I came back to the town I used to live, because I moved to finish high school somewhere else and then moved back once that was over. And there weren't any Special Olympics where I moved to, at least nowhere to. So I didn't really do it. So I didn't do much running. So all the guys, they could outrun me when I came back. That must have been a shock to them, seeing that I used to run with them all the time, and then I did that for years, and when I come back, all of a sudden, all of them could beat me. It's like, wait, you were the fastest one, like the second fastest one here, you're not the fastest anymore, what happened? That must have been a shock to them. That's what happens if you don't keep up with it. It gets harder. You get slower. So it must have shocked them because I was the second fastest for like the longest time too. When I was there. So when coming back and not being the second fastest anymore must have really shocked them. I didn't say anything about it, but still, that would have thrown me off my game. I'd be like, wait a minute. That was our second fastest runner. What happened? You rushed right to the head of the pack, then you were close, and then you tackled her to the ground. You did it. The girl who had been caught giggles as she got on her feet, brushed things out of her grasp. Smiling, Cody came to stop at your side. Lily walked to the island, clapping her hands. The boy had pretty smiling grin. You're it. Now, catch us if you can. Yeah, I can do it. You won't get away from me. With that, you all disappeared, square and laughed as you tried to capture. The sour mood from earlier had disappeared and replaced by light and laughter around you. 10 rounds later, most of the kids had been taking at least one turn as the sun flares up to your nose. Caught by surprise, you look up from the brim and blue of the sky that had turned orange as the sun soaked down around you. Following, you lost track of time completely. You look over and saw people standing over the grill pouring them. It was nearly time to eat. You should get over there. I'm so hungry. Our parents are at different spots. Yeah. Bye. Let's go play. Bye. See ya. You wave and join over a group of kids before hurrying over to parents with Lindsay and Colby. You turn around fortunate and started growing more pregnant as you came closer to the sound of smoke. As the three of you approached the table, your parents spot you and came to join you halfway. You tried to greet them, but after a cough out your words. Oof, that's quite a cough. Are you alright, sweetie? I'm fine. Are you sure? No one needs to go up to the rails if they don't want to. Just let me know what you need. There's no frost from the other two kids here. I can get it myself, Mom. Alright, but tell me if it gets too much for you. The main thing is to be served as come. You can have whatever you like on. There's different meats and veggies. Approach you found and bites and pieces ready to serve, and you choose. I'm gonna go with pork, beef, and chicken. Oh, that's my options. I am a picky person still. Mom sighs and shared a meaningful look with your mom and shook her head. It's a party. You can pick that tonight. Don't make it habit of throwing your greens, okay? No, I don't want my greens. Greens are ucky. You can't make me. You have to trick me to eat my greens, which is not that hard. Just put the greens hidden in the food. That's it. Or have carrots. Carrots. I'll eat carrots. Apparently, it's a green food. I think. At least my mom said it was a green food, because that was an assumption. If I didn't eat my greens, I could eat a carrot instead. That was. So if it wasn't a green food, someone should have told my mom that a long time ago, because I got away with eating carrots, because I wouldn't eat greens. Your gift, you whatever you wanted. You'd be right. Liz had towards you, having issues with her own request. Hi again. I heard you ordered onion chicken can with all colors of peppers. Ugh, gross. Knows that gross. Oh, since she turned to him. Are you having? Why does it matter? I don't know, I'm just asking. I'm getting beef and chip with all special except onions. I don't like onions either, buddy. Though I'm not big on shrimp either. Like, I've tried it. Though as a kid I didn't try it at all. I would refuse to try anything that had fish in it. Right, Holmes, why? Sorry, harsh response. That's okay, I guess, but chicken is definitely the better one. Then you can eat all the chicken. I'm going to. All chicken in the world?
No.
That's dumb. That's not what I mean. Prepare it over the grill, and then where the cone were being hanged out, then the cone collected in your parents' hand. They're coming over. Don't get jealous of mine when you realize you made the wrong choice, Cody. I didn't make the wrong choice. We all make good choices. It's just what kills something buddy eats. When the person serves gives your mommy one final parent, then your parents move over to rejoin you. Between them and then 6 cones. One for each of you, including Kobe. Oh, I'm not eating that. Mr. Halton. Thank goodness. Kobe's dad is looking for a place we can sit. In the meantime, they'll begin passing out cards to their rightful owner. Lois son as she receives hers. They're pretty big. Be careful not to drop. Try not to poke yourself with the end. See there. They're sharp and they might hurt. Hearing that, you turn and push the string against your finger. Poke is very sharp pencil, though it didn't hurt your hand. You wouldn't want to scrape the roof of your mouth or jaw all the time. Unclipped her tongue. Would be a nice option. Were a little easier to imagine. Less nice to eat, especially for smaller kids. There aren't even plates for everyone, so we're setting the table down for a second. That's why you'll get for the price for free. But what the heck is right? Her nods. Her turn, doing her tongue like a trophy. Your parents lead you down to the table. I'm assuming why Mr. Overton's been setting up to scout one. The benches quickly fell up, so people got their food. Your son Overton was standing over a cutting near the edge of the sitting area. He welcomed your group to join him. You climbed onto the bench, taking care not to let your cubs slip from the food. They took a seat next to you. Lizzie took a seat over the side. Her mom passed the final gun to her husband. Thanks, this looks delicious. Thanks for getting us out here. Everyone tucks into their food. You gobble it up, your own gun by the offers of eating with from syrup. Running around with the other kids had helped you work up an appetite. Mr. Owen, what do you have? Well, I have lots of things. Do you play golf? Only if you count Notre golf. And look at Lily's face, because she did not. She could enjoy running around at the mid golf place, especially if she had an ounce of friend. They took to playing very seriously. Even then, it's been several years since I gave it a shot. I felt very untucked. You were sure if she wasn't responding to your joke. I was annoyed or Lily's offer. Just as well. She been dragged into green every week. Because I got to decide you need a good drive or two to get far. Or Cody nodded, clicking his tongue in frustration. Cody looked from his father to your son, also in the conversation. Our class is golf and win. I don't get it. I wouldn't get it either if I lived with her. I have to hear this stuff all the time. You should give golf a try. Maybe it'll teach you some tricks. Don't try to change my dad to be more like you. Give Chloe a dirty look at the curve. Mom felt like she needed to be more to move the top of the head before it could hate you. It's really nice of you. I'm sure my coach is busy. He might not have time for another hobby. Yeah, I don't have to think I'll make for that. Still pushy dollar.
Why?
Then tell me something you really do already. You just go away every day. I like scuba diving, though with business, though more work than play these days. Surfing, reading, struggling. Those things Kobe likes. So you soon puff out his chest. Then what can I say? My boy got good taste. He takes after his dad in a way. The sun had been setting when you got your food, and by the time you finished, the night had truly fallen. You said fingers were only remained of your meal. The color had been gray cotton more than sun, and parts than freedom. Shows every degree of yourself was made something to remember. Raised from the table, mother held up a water bottle. Now, okay, now, food is gone. You gotta wash your hands. Okay, if you're gonna be, I'm okay with that. Sarah, Leslie, please hold them out. Then comes over and cups her hands together in front of her mom, splashing water over her fingers and letting rub them together, walking off any response here. Unpass her paper towel from her purse and use it to dry off her hair. Return her sanity. You barely lift up your finger and flash them over. It was cold. He preferred not doing this. Wipe them with her emotion, getting on your fingers. He took his own course of action, rubbing his fingers on his pants, leaving the stains that his fingers had been. I shook his head.
Come on.
Let's clean that off, pal. Scrubbed the feathers up with a napkin. It's not that bad. Golly, that's a bad habit. Whatever was cleaned up, or as clean as it could be, it was the lemon time. Mom spoke up. go and make one last check at the crawlers ever show us the drink before the fire show. No time. We have a good spot. Everyone's gonna be taken. How about I go ahead and save spots and meet and Phil after the drinks. Then go to Kobe's dad. I'll find the perfect place.
Okay.
Sure thing. I could use an extra pair of eyes. Mom shook her head, referring at the even more fun than usual attitude. Alright, me and Cliff and Lily can go find a place to sit. Pound crawling. Fade enough out. Do you want to get the drinks? Okay. Okay, I'll get all the stuff we need. As Mom, Lizzie, and Miss Halton head off to Idaho, when we return the fireworks, we were able to set up and join Kobe and Mom were in car where you picture each other. As you approach, you thought you wouldn't find much into it. With your arms struck B was half empty. The ice was crushed down, and there was Evan cold was large belt and only a handful pieces of iceberg. Impact. The rain looked balls playing water, but you caught a glimpse of something hovering among them. Long round growing in the cooler, and then a couple of juice boxes from Mom Foster's. Down, Kobe, could you take one of those if you want? Appears of help you. I'm taking a juice box for myself. I'm not taking a water bottle. Fancy, but took a juice box for herself. I don't like water. I'm sorry. When each of you look up with the chosen drink plus an extra box, or the two of you someone else again, the wrong phone starts to ring. She juggles the water over to the curtain and look at the cell. Mom, hold on tight while I get this. Hey, what's up? Did you find first spot already? That's what I'm afraid. As Mom gives her directions. Caught up your eyes, she goes towards the grand area. We got a place. Come on, let's hurry up before the show starts. You and Kobe jog after Mom, who led you through the field, and the sudden group of thugs began the rest of your frown. We're here, and we came bring drinks, though weren't much left. The three of you hand over spare drinks. You gave Lily a bottle of water, but she had ice on your juice box. Now and Chloe has juice. They help get the drinks. They can pick out where you got to pick where it's up. Don't be selfish. I'm not. Good. But then you're going to thank us for bringing your very own water bottle. Thanks. Once everyone had been equipped with a drink of big offense, you sat in the grass beside Kobe, waiting for the magic to begin. Most people in the park had been taking seats, with a few shrines back at the tables in the distance. Arlington still dancing about, but their numbers was silent. Right as their parents called them over and started ordering. Some began laying a cardboard box, waiting between groups, tossing from. You know how showing point. What are they doing? Looks like they're heading something out. I can't make out what it is. I hope it's not drink. I'm chuckled. But Lily and Kobe were now watching the best of Mr. Goody Kids. Are they going to come to us too? All soft put her hands on the opposite shoulder, as if she or Lily might bolt up to straight. It didn't even glance at her. Her eyes were locked in her eyes. I don't know.
In that case,
You have to wait and see. Studying the man in the box closely as he got near, I make out what he was saying. Small items, most of the groups he stopped at. They seem to be short to be water bottles, but that remains a mystery. The mystery box made his way to your evening. I'm handing out dessert. Any takers? There's dessert? There's good, hopefully off around the man chuckles. I'm going to take that as a yes. It's ice cream on the menu. Caramel flavored twist, either chocolate, strawberry, or either chocolate or strawberry shake. Nice, none for me though, hey. Same, but the offer is Christian. I want chocolate. Can I have strawberry? And strawberry for me too. I'm gonna have to make a selection. Chocolate or strawberry? Oh! I can say what I want, I'm not that bad! Always! A strawberry. Reach out into the box and then pull out the request ice cream and toss them out. It came packed in his little cup, complete with a wooden spoon stuck to his bare head, and one finger sliding away.
Thank you.
Are you gonna thank the nice man? There was a term thank you. He could have nodded and walked off to another group. The man couldn't spend much time with each group because how many he had to get to. I fell back in the tab of ice cream and got into an unexpected food. It tasted amazing. I was definitely enjoying Cody was too. I was much the way happy, but in the end didn't just want her attention. Her eyes wide and looked around and pulled on her pants. And then this strawberry. Can I get some of yours, please?
Of course.
Wait, said Mom pressed her of ice cream turn. You can hear her lips and Lily laughs it out. Oh, come on. Lily has all the ice cream she needs. He laughed and put in his cheek, and then dug her spoon and held it out to me. I can't resist. Yes. Nathan, would you like some of mine? We already got that flavor. But that's not the same getting a little extra from Mommy. Okay. I would totally take a bite. You ate the treat by offering, watching and Mom's phone. I watched this stage slowly and with a big shine. Mom on the other hand, read and starts to smile. Better at least give me some too. You could have got your own if you wanted.
What?
Well, the kids get ice cream alright, and they get some of yours to boot, and I get nothing out. What? You decided to be firm. You laughed and Mom fed you some ice cream yourself, Mom. She could never actually fall through her big cup. All better now? Yes. How about you, Cliff? Would you like some? No, I'm still okay. Thanks for keeping me on line. Hope it's only fair if you get to choose too. He shook his thumb. Right on his cup. Mom smiled. Okay, as long as no one else is feeling left out. And always was nice to everyone. You look at over Cody. He was singing into his room. Throwing her squirrel at yours. Want some of mine? You held to me around him. Oh, why are you doing this to me now?
Huh?
Yellow spook and glanced Cody looked at him. I already got one. I want to share anyway. I looked around bashfully, but he nodded. Ha! I win! He took a bite of his ice cream and held out his spoon to him. After another turn glass, he nibbled at it. He seemed lost in thought. Almost like he couldn't why he took the ice cream he didn't really need.
Oh.
I was glad I said the two of you and her mom. with this, her mouth was this open smile as she was about to say something, but Mom tugged on her coat. Don't embarrass him. I didn't appear to hear the shades. He took a look at his own spoon of ice cream and drank some and held it out to Yuki. I should have got a chocolate. Oh, so far, yeah, I played it and I like it. I just got the DLC for it, the extra content things, and I like it. It's definitely neat. The game is free, but the DLC is not. So if you don't have money, you can play the game still, but you won't have this extra DLC things and stuff. But it is fun. It is definitely interesting. If you don't have the DLC, Kobe's the only person you can date, though. Oh, but I like the thing where you no matter depending how you act and stuff, and do future conversations and stuff, Kobe will remember things. So, if you pick a certain soda you liked, and stuff, he'll remember that stuff. I don't know how. It's definitely interesting. I find that very unique. I don't see many games doing that, and I'm totally thinking by that ice cream. I should have took the chocolate ice cream. If I knew and we were going to share ice cream, I would have totally taken the chocolate. Kobe's adorable, though. I would have totally dated Kobe. Kobe. So it would have taken forever for us to both date. I am a fucking shy person, and Kobe is a shy person, but also a social butterfly. It would have been it would just have been a mess. That's the funny part. It would have been a mess. It would have. Oh my god, me and Kobe would. Because I'm very direct, but at the same time, when I like someone, I am fucking shy as all can be. Kobe would not even know I liked him because I would never say it. I had this, I still have this problem a little bit. My idea of flirting is not a good idea of flirting. My idea of flirting is poking the person I like. And it doesn't work. And then that made it pointless. You just ate the same strawberry ice cream out of different cups. Did say to say it was thought that considered though. I should have totally gotten chocolate. It would have. I didn't realize we were going to eat it because I've never played the DLC part before. Hey, if you sharing too, I'll take some. You ate your mom's to give you some. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're not important, Lizzie. So what? Mom was gonna let you have a bite. You just didn't take it. None for you. I'm so much braver in video games. I'm so much willing to tell a character to screw herself or stuff. But if it was a real person, I am too nice to say anything. Oh my god. I should pretend everyone's just not a real person. So I can say what I want in my mind. Maybe that will help. Not excited, just pretend no one is real. Because I can say it to their face what I want to say for real. Maybe that'll work. My sight will be gone. Lizzie stuck her tongue out at both of you and turned her attention back to her own cup of ice cream. Then the fireworks cut through the sky, whistling as it attempted until it hit the Cherasco with an explosion. The pink arc flashed as is alright. Sparkle Lizzie lifted her feet. her forgotten charm to the ground as the fireworks crashed into the drops of glitter in the sky. You better pick that up later, Lizzie. No trash in the park. It's starting! Everyone else looked up the sky, and their firework whistles through into the air. With the explosion, Lizzie jumped up in the air. When I first heard fireworks, I was actually really scared of them. So, the loud noise in your ear, I'm going to cover my ears and with my hands. Finding her dizzy, your mom came to sit by you. She placed her hands over your ears, muffling the count from above. I didn't stay scared of them very long though. It only scared me the first time, and then like the other time, no, it did not matter. I'm gonna soften as I watch these correctum. Having your mom with you made you feel better. It didn't seem as bad to take in the fireworks while she was around. Close step closer, his eyes lying on you before Darren glanced when you met his gaze. Oh, she's saying me! I'm adorable! I glanced onto you. Then your parents made eye contact. Mom glanced her hands slightly, saying things that were fine there. Mom smiled, then hopped to her feet, joined Lily, and jumping in the air train, even carrying the fireworks. There was a little party together. Miss Helen watches the fireworks scenes important. He did smile at you, and even gave you a thumbs up when he noticed you looked over. Fireworks continued, some smiled like the cone and spun as they approached the air, overshot the sun from the ground and shone into little tiny sparkles. Every color broken in the show, from turning reds to emerald greens and blues, arrived the ocean. You even noticed at some point Miss Helen had let Chloe park at the top of the shop, or more likely Chloe had to run to give it to the shrine. Still Chloe's face would turn wide and smile that when his father saw him. You imagine the feel from way up there was pretty awesome. It was also that there was Game Far for once. The show built up with a grand finale that booms over the parks, and every inch of the violet lights of full spectrum of rainbow. Grand finale. There's a one place that's great. It feels like a grand finale through the whole thing. I saw it one time. I think it DC, because I visited DC once and watched fireworks there one year, and oh my god, those were the best fireworks ever. I was so fucking confused, because Grand Finale, or when the fireworks is at the end of the show, they start like that, and it's like that through the whole fucking show. I was so fucking confused. It was because I was not used to that kind of thing. I was like, wait, this is usually where the grand finale is. Why is so many fireworks going off now? It was through the whole show. It really confused me, but that was like the best fireworks. As the final glitter burst, it spread into the night. Realize a deep breath, and the head was still burning on your head. Look on your eyes with every blink. With a minute, imagination has been lost, but a bird take is still in your mind. You've been so focused on the show that your foot has gone numb. Believe you. It was only the tip you stand. You felt 10 blood rush down to your toes. But was still on the ground again, and both smiled, knowing that he enjoyed the show just as much as you did. Even so, while the fires were gone, glanced over to see his reaction. Though the sun has gone down long ago, the air was burning on, was warm. Took into a grim turn, and their spot behind the fireworks display. The new friend and his father, who had always in their happy, clear way and smile. This was a pretty special night. have read these ones top before.
Alright!
Alright. Does anyone watching care if I skip this? Because I have read the top ones before. Or you guys. I'm mostly interested in new DLC than anything. But I still want to go through these events that happen. Because they, we never know. Oh, and everything. While we're waiting, we'll read the really confusing. Alright, tonight we're going to catch fireflies. As learned from your sister, you look up from the macaroni and cheese dinner. Fireworks were similar sight over the summer and come out on a warm night and dance through the sky. Night was burning green. You knew you were bothered by tons of them around. Oh, are you? Ooh. Are you? Yeah. You rock lightly from side to side in your seat, always excited to see after dinner or activities. And fireworks for fireflies. Yeah, fireworks. It was a great way to spend summer evening as you could in the light bugs drifted through the darkness of the sky. Good idea, Lizzie. Can we, Mr. Sharp? Shelby taps on the floor, gets the table. Starts light up and look at Lizzie. It was unusual for Shelby to be here. Like always, his mom had to bring him over early in the morning because of her job. But normally she would have picked him up by now. She called before dinner to let know her mom's know she'd be late. Didn't hear why. Probably more work things. We thought maybe get a hang out of it, shall we? For long is what made. Lizzie wanted to keep them around outside. Staying at home, they watched TV was never an option for her with guests over. That's why we're pretty sure she'd get your mom to agree. It is dark outside. I'd give her mom her best puppy eyes ever. She could slowly spoon mac and cheese in her mouth, waiting for their response. Let them go. Nights like this don't happen every day. Her shakes a look, then Mom sighs and nods back. Yes! Along with Lizzie's cheers, you threw your arms up, but waiting until we find you to say anything. Before you knew it, it was rude to talk with your mouth full. Fine. Just make sure you stay on the hill behind the house. Also, with all the pockets, okay? Come on, that was already most of there are. The idea had just only been planned in your head, but you already could just see the picture of all the glowing bright in the front of you, like little fairies from the bedtime stories Mommy's read to you sometimes. Excuse me. All too quickly because it's nice to see who finished their foods first. No choking at dinner table now. That's right. If one dies, we'll have to cancel the firefly trip after all. Oh, Mom said it like a joke, but you knew they were both telling you kids to slow down. Both did immediately. When you glance at Lucy, she still sees you faster than she should. Elizabeth,
Jeez.
no one's going to die. Sheesh. As a knock door interrupt Mom knew she could no doubt scroll your sister. I'll get it. Jump. Your big sister jumped out of her seat, running towards the door, pulling open without even looking at the window to see who it was. Huh? You shifted in your seat, trying to get a glance of the unexpected guest.
Hi.
Good evening, Kobe. Your mom had already walked to the door by the time he managed to see past Shelby's iPad. Kobe! Nathaniel. Trying to get to the door quickly enough near as your mom saw it been knocked over. Send a sheeply smile, licking your fingers behind your neck before focusing your attention on Kobe. What are you doing here? I smiled playful across Kobe's face, and you could tell he wanted to laugh. Your eyes met only for a second, but he looked away. Then, for a few seconds, Kobe said nothing. He only stood there and looked up at your mom with a face, almost like he couldn't turn around and leave. My dad told me to drop this off because I borrowed it from you. He took a submerged screwdriver from out of the large side pocket. His eyes dropped to the floor. We left ours a big house when we moved. Great, thanks, bye. Why are you here? Why don't you come inside, Papa? Chloe crossed her arms and looked for her chin. Chloe shrugged and her mom turned to him. I was good for your dad to know you got here already. A shift inside remained on the ground. Mom closed the door behind her. Hi, Chloe. Chloe gave you a friendly smile and waved by holding up his hand and opened his closed fingers, and Chloe nodded in response. Chloe, you want to come and catch fireflies with us? You could see her eye from the mention of sun outside, but she won't get over it. She huffed and puffed your tongue out at her and placed her hands on her hips in annoyment. You should come with us. We'll have a great time. Yeah, that sounds cool. Never caught one before. It's too bad he didn't have a chance before now. The fireworks were out when the first moved in, and there must have been anywhere he used to live. We can't go till after dinner. After she pointed that out, Lizzie walked back to her table and took her seat. There wasn't much left on her plate. Since that's very true, you decided to finish up your own stuff as well. You stepped closer and eyes on the members of your family. Have you eaten? Yeah, my dad and I ate early. What did you have? Eggs. Except one more word seemed to suggest. She avoided from asking more questions. So I slowly warmed back at the large crust of food on his plate. Her phone call with Kobe's dad must have ended because her mom came back in the room. Oh, your dad said you can stay for a while if you like, but he's going to come to get you before it gets much later. Sure. What fun. That should be nice. As you polish off the meal, you hope it will be too. The three of you finished eating shortly after, and Lizzie led the way outside. Oh, don't stray too far. It's fine, Mom. Her chose so close after Lizzie, he was nearly stepping on her. Cody had to out the door. Come on, let's go. After a moment, he did. Bye. The two of you were very good at 10 or 15 feet behind Lizzie and Shelby. By the time you walked outside, you pushed the door shut behind you, watching the fingers get farther and farther away. You're so slow, Nathaniel. We don't have all night. Started to run when you realized you had Lizzie's voice on you, but paused when you saw Kobe was still walking the right in place. I'm gonna tuck him along. Let's go. You gotta come. Reached out his arm. Wasn't in a cache. He took off the rest and started pulling him along. Kobe twisted his arms a bit before settling down. He smiled watching Kobe return in with a shot of his own. Then both of you fall after Shelby. When you arrived at the hill, Lord was already setting down on him. The fireflies were out of the forest, floating in the breeze. There was glowing in and out of the chain of magic. You look out at Kobe, and he seemed to enjoy the beauty of the sight. You and Kobe stood there together, linked together. It was not like Kobe's hands, but not quite. It was a bit too bad somehow. First that you were actually needing to come and grabbing his arm, and when you were releasing it, took him over and came over and welcomed both of you to the hill. Hey guys, isn't it great, huh? See how many there are? Yeah. A firefly danced through the air, lashed around in head. I can't help but feel you over here. Cover your mouth with a hand you smile and escape your eye. And Cody looked at you confused. What?
Oh,
Oh, he has one. That's amazing. Shelby ran on to the high pointed hill, making sure not to lose his hat or backpack along the way. Yama asked the group of flying carrying ships as he glanced to the dozen of fireworks running around the gate on. Spot one by coast, you approached it with Essen-like self, crouched down to make sure less threat. Slowly dragging one foot from another, crawling towards it around stretch. You close your arms around the little glowy orb, carefully not to crush it. The firefly landed on your palm. It was done, and you settled down at your prize sign, and triggered through your skin, and you giggled at the sensor. But kept up with his target, but when he tried to grab, his pink cast waved awkwardly through the air, finding his efforts trying to clap his hand in the fire. Watched it fan through the air and pressed his face. I don't care if you don't do it again. You're playing fireworks, you can try again. Did you catch one? You nodded. Code gives his head on for a moment and come closer and turned and said crawling onto your paw. You held out your palm and he leaned closer, running behind his glasses. Cody ran hypnotized by little bugs as he inched his hand closer to yours. But as he saw his finger lines on top of his peripheral and opened the hand tightly, lay very still. The last thing you wanted exactly scared the shiny treasure off. Fire noticed the new cone and crawled up Kobe's hand and he couldn't grab. It worked. Yeah, you got one. Comes up, turns up smiling and prying the little bug. Thanks, my family. Yeah, as he looked together, we're still holding hands. Something pulled away. Startled by the movement, the tiny little disappeared before you could even blink. The firefly was gone.
sorry.
That's fine. That's okay. I can't keep it forever.
You're right.
Right, bugs have to stay outside. Let's get another one. Yeah. We can work together. Drake broke out in wide grin. We'll get a bunch. With a raised finger, you ran out into the hill. Not sure much time passed while you were in the thick of it. All you could focus on is the center of the hand. The cone was safe from your grasp. At first, you tried a tale of how many you could have caught, but once you got a number higher than 10, you could no more figures left to count on with. You were having the time of your life, racing up and down hills with the crush of the ocean, sound of everyone laughing and echoing in the background.
Nathaniel!
This way. You follow the sound of Cody's voice to the top of the hill, watching as he stared on in front of him, reaching his finger, slowly nearly missing his target. Cody and you took turns scaring fireworks in the direction of the other. You showed him more techniques that you've learned, like how to cup your hands correctly. You listened to him before trying for yourself. There were a few times when you almost ran from each other, giggling as you done so, to the side of the moment. Luckily, this was perfectly timed. It was overturned success that both of you caught multiple times fireworks. Eventually, the fireflies began to thicken out, and your energy started to collapse. You decided it was time to call it the hunt. Hunting combined, he punched a heavy face and ran to life. It was fun, a lot of fun. Smiling back. Happy you enjoyed the accident. Yeah, I was.
Come on!
Sit down. Kobe, get up here. We're going to have a race. The shout caught you off guard. It seemed been quite a while. You heard from Sean. You glance over and see them both. On the hill again, Liz brought up and quickly had his ass. It was like that you were in much room for direction. Point from the corner of your eyes, you saw Kobe was coming up as well. You didn't care for Lizzie a lot, so you thought he might invite an idea. Hi.
Go!
Hi, Cove. You can't run downhill. You could hurt your arm again. I could hurt you. I wouldn't. I'm too nice to do that. But you could be the referee for the rest of us. Stop being so fussy. Slug pointed this out, Cody froze in place. Oh, it was the same kind of race. He frowned at his pass and won the second got in his hand. What? Yeah, you're gonna watch and see who gets bottom. It's important, guy.
Yes.
The task was done, and he was careful, and he could have done it. Love might be just on looking for a reason to make someone lecture him, but it was always decided. I want to stay with Kobe.
Really?
Really, why? You don't have to. It's okay, I want to watch. Move beside him on top of the hill. The lily eyes remained there. That's not how it is. We only need one referee. You shrug your shoulders and you push the budge, and Lily lets out a huff before putting her hands in. Fine, I'll be the winner whether you join or not. Lizzie moved to lay down, and Shelby did the same. Chloe stood there aside to get better view, and she stood next to him. Countdown. Chloe stood up straight. It seems like he was taking his new referee seriously. 3, 2, 1, go! Lizzie and Shelby took off and Pico to work and rode at speed towards the bottom of the hill. You and Chloe leaned toward to watch them go, eyes peering for watch the two who reached the bottom first. Then you both neck to neck until half down the hill. Liz started rearing beside and Shelby got a huge spat. She always didn't notice a thing. As soon as Shelby reaches the bottom of the hill, he jumped up beside and threw his hands up in the air. I won. Almost immediately, he fell back in the grass, still dizzy from his roll downhill. Lily stepped out of the brush and she ended up and brushed off the leaves from her dress. Not bad. You got lucky. Let's do it again and see who wins for real. Kids, it's time to come in. No! You started feeling grateful. You haven't been part of a middle discussion. You caught her in the eyes and saw what he was doing at the same time. It got late. It was getting to feel a little bit chilly, and you made your ways out of the hill, but you could never withstand anyone's spirits. The four of you went back home together, side by side. Your neighbor's street, and from everything was each person trying to prove that there was one who caught most fireworks. You knew the whole really did not mean much, didn't matter much anyway. All that mattered was all had a good time, which, judged by the smile on everyone's face, you did. And I'm assuming everyone's okay with it because no one said anything last time. Please. A popsicle. Let's sigh.
Yeah.
Let's start. Okay.
You can finish.
Oh, head's sake.
It's okay.
Are we friends?
I'm sorry.
Defend Kobe.
Nope.
You're just saying that because you're a chicken.
Yeah, it's better than being a chicken. It's better. Boring is better. It's fine. I like roses. Fine. Oh, I could have won. A dolphin. I'm too tired to argue. Mom, stop doing that. Let me save. Why are you doing this to me? I'm gonna save. I don't want to do those things again. God, come on. Oh my God, you're being a fucking ass.